Welcome, one and all. We are back for the final chapter of Arcade Spirits, Chapter 8, Kill Screen. The tea is ready. It is cooling. And steeping, because it's herbal, so it won't really massively oversteep anyway. Plus, I'm kind of used to drinking my tea oversteeped from making it at work, and then not having a chance to grab it and forgetting about it, and it just being at maximum steep anyway. That's why I usually drink green at work, because that doesn't oversteep as badly as black does. What are you doing, cat? Get out of there. Come on. Yeah, you don't need to be under the desk. Come on. Move along. Come on. Wash. Is it me? So I don't do black tea, always end up oversteeping it. Alright, hopefully the cat doesn't start going after cords. May have to take a quick pause if he does. Oh yeah, turn this up because I was really hoping you'd miss last chapter. Yeah. I'm glad you could make it. Level 8, kill screen. I don't remember how long this chapter is. We'll find out together. It is the distant future year 20XX, and... Oh, who am I kidding? I'll be lucky to make it to 20XX plus 1 at this rate. Oh, right! There was the whole getting shot thing, and the reviewer, and the gang fight, and also getting shot. Mostly the getting shot. Mired in depression and a supposed family curse, then lifted up by an amazing time at the Funplex, slammed back down by Dekonami, raised up again by the Arcade Spirits project, and now descending further due to a series of bad coincidences, culminating in a Pier 6 brawl in which I got shot. But today I'm back to Arcade Spirits and ready to work, despite being on crutches. Right, reviewer lady is coming back in a week. Normally I have to mentally filter out the beeps and boops of a busy arcade, but not today. Aside from our regulars, nobody's here. Not exactly the sight I wanted to see on my grand return after heroically taking a bullet to the leg. We're 3 days into this ambitious experiment, and it's already looking like a bust. Even with a reprieve from Ms. Defam, we couldn't hush the event up completely. The news of gang violence at a local arcade spread over social media like wildfire. Gavin had filled me in on the details I missed while I was passed out. At the time the cops got here, both gangs were long gone, and the ghost monsters wiped our security footage on their way out the door. No arrests made, no evidence remaining. Leave my headphone cord alone, cat. Go back to sleep. We're laying nicely and sleeping. Got shot and is already back at work? Yep. That's what happens when you own the business and don't have many employees, I guess. The only plus side? Sue and her ghost monsters apparently never came back. But even without them actively causing problems, that single day managed to smash our reputation. It's just so disappointing. I still believe Arcade Spirits could be a welcoming home for gamers, but if they won't even set foot in the door, they'll never see for themselves. I've put in all this work, all this love, to make my dream arcade. All my friends did the same, and to see it all evaporate in a single day is so incredibly disappointing. I don't honestly know how we can recover from this. If we could only get the good word out, somehow correct this PR disaster. Put on an event, that's what we specialize in. Seated by the ticket desk with my crutches propped up nearby, light duty only for a week minimum doctor's orders, I tried to mentally detangle this mess. Hey Iris, are we... Yes, we're still trending negatively on social media, like the last 7 times you asked. Any luck with our security camera footage then? Anything that we could give up to the police? Might help our public image to have someone to point blame at. Nope, it's totally wiped and my file recovery systems failed. I guess that's to be expected when going up against cyber criminals. Like, they've even avoided bad press from the shooting. I haven't spotted the words ghost monsters in any of the articles I found about the attack. It's like they're ghosts. Well, not literally ghosts, I just mean they clean their tracks very effectively. Yeah, got that. We did see them in their corporeal form, remember? Ooh. At least that whole mess seems to be behind us. Now we just need to dig our way out of this hole. I sigh heavily as the burden sinks into my lungs, and before I can groan further, I hear footsteps approaching me. I lock my phone and pocket it before seeing who it is.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Hulyen. Good to see you up and about. I'm up, but hardly about. I'll probably be glued to this stool all day long. Yes, well, it beats the alternative, doesn't it? Plus you get a nice view of the whole arcade. Although, a bit quiet in here today, isn't it? Yeah, I know. We can turn this around. I know we can turn this around. Right. Well, I don't mean to be a bother, but I wanted to talk to you about our financial situation, seeing as I'm bankrolling this affair and such. As soon as he mentions money, my chest tightens as I expect the worst. It's not an unreasonable thing to bring up, but can I deal with more bad news? I may have more than my fair share of wealth, but it's not bottomless. Honestly, you could see the bottom even before I put my stake in Arcade Spirits.
Well,
Gavin and I have been going over the spreadsheets, and at our current rate, well, I'm afraid we only have so much padding before we have to start considering options. Options like selling. I don't want to, believe me, but there's going to be a breaking point where we need to consider pulling out before our initial investment cannot be recovered. If only to ensure everybody involved in this affair doesn't go bankrupt. The knot in my stomach turns. The idea of completely draining Percy's finances, well, his plan for that money was to turn it over to charity upon his death, and here I'd convinced him to invest in my boondoggle of an arcade in the twilight years of his life. Something of a grim thought, isn't it? Well, let's not dwell on the negative, shall we? No point giving up the fight so soon after it begins. What we need is a plan of how we can turn these ill fortunes around. What are our next steps? Next steps? I can barely take a step with these crutches. Honestly, I'm not sure what we do next. I need time to think.
right.
By all means, think away. And if all else fails, well, at least you've still got your health. Oof. Percy. Losing something important over one of your own mistakes is one thing, losing it because of a bunch of idiotic hooligans is a different thing. Yes, agreed. Ah, hold that thought. We've got a customer. Hello, welcome to... Good morning. I think I'll be moving along now. Moopy to play and all. Remember your health, Hulyen, and try to avoid stress in the next few minutes. I stood there in silence and shock. I tried telling myself this was just a bad fever dream from my wound, but no such luck. This was 100% real. I watch as Deco takes a look around the arcade, his smug grin ever present. I see his eyebrow arch as he takes note of the people, or rather the lack of people here playing games.
Such a shame. Such a shame.
Seems you've had an unfortunate run of luck lately. Not an unexpected one, however. I did warn that this would likely be the result of trying to go your own way. This can be a very unforgiving industry, as you've learned. Is there a ghost playing the crane game? Yeah, there might be. The crane game at the old arcade did that too. Maybe it's in our attract mode. Well, I didn't expect you to get shot, at least. I'm glad to hear the wound was minor and you'll recover. I apologize for not sending flowers.
Am I not generous?
I hope you realize now that I was only looking out for your interests when I made my job offer. You're promising young talent, and it's a shame to see it go to waste on this doomed venture. Nope, can't handle this. Not today. What do you want, Mr. Nami? If you need tokens, the change machine's over there.
A pity, is it not?
Tokens, how quaint. Still no swipe cards, eh? Sadly, I'm not here to play any of your antiques. Rather resembles a 1980X junkyard in here, doesn't it? All these obsolete games that no one truly cares about.
No. I'm here to make one final offer. If you sign over ownership of this arcade to me, I'll spare your careers. Yes, even Miss Fairchild and Miss Wolf. I'm sure I can find something for them to do at one of my facilities. I want to support your rising star.
Lies.
That's what I've always wanted.
Lies.
We've had our differences along the way, but I want us to overcome them and thrive. But this is your last opportunity. I'll not extend my hand in friendship again.
Does that mean if I say no, you'll go away and not come back?
If you don't agree to my terms, I'll stand idle and watch as everything burns down around you. You have my word on that.
Okay. Obviously, I want to say no to this fabulous offer. But at what point do I cut my losses? Miss Francine believed in dreams, but she also believed in practicality and trade-offs. Am I ready to give up everything so I have something resembling a future? Nope. Of course I'm not giving up. I mean, seriously, I had so many opportunities to jump ship prior to this. Why would I bail this close to the end? That's a rather meta statement there. I want to say this one. But, one of these two. I'm afraid I must follow my own dreams. I'm sorry, but Arcade Spirits is my dream. The dream I share with all my friends. There's no way I can sell out that dream. I appreciate the offer, but I must decline. I see. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I'd say I admire your honesty, or I'd say I'd admire your dedication and optimism, but honestly, I don't. Real life rarely rewards the optimist. Until you learn how to approach life in pragmatic fashion, I'm afraid you're destined for failure time and time again. But, as you like, it's your decision to make.
So be it.
Well, I guess I'll just have to settle for buying the burnt-out husk of your business once it ultimately collapses around you. I think you underestimate the damage being associated with the criminal element can do. It is enough to ruin even the mightiest of arcades. Oh, I doubt the ghost monsters have forgotten you. They will return, and they will make matters far worse for you. And immediately I take notice. Play it cool, don't let on. Just test the waters. Really? Ghost monsters? I thought that gang was called Lovely Chainsaw or something.
A foolish fool.
Yes, ghost monsters. Sadly, they insist on naming themselves after that absurd ancient video game reference. All the childish, immature. He shakes it off quickly enough, refocusing on me. But enough banter. I believe I'll take my leave. I'll not see you again. I'll let my lawyers handle purchasing what little will remain of you. Good day. Once he's out of earshot and well beyond the confines of the arcade, I pull out my phone to verify something. Iris, you checked all the news articles about the shooting, right? Oh, yes, I've analyzed them all. Did you need me to pull up a specific one? Just confirm something for me. The ghost monsters were never mentioned by name in any of them, right? Yes, it seems Sue's friends are good at covering their tracks. Why? This is it. This is the chance we need. Admittedly, it's a slim chance, but at this point, I'll take what I can get. Message everyone. I'm calling another Waked or Venspiracy.
Hooray!
Ooh, you're all fired up. Okay, messages sent. I'll need everyone's help to fill in gaping holes in my plan, but at least now, I have a plan. It's time for one last-ditch effort to save Arcade Spirits. Aw, we still kept we got our own penguin poster. Penguin there, baby. Hacking everybody in the employee break room proved tricky. Standing room only, elbow to elbow, but somehow we managed it.
Hi!
Hi, everybody. Glad I could be here for this, whatever this is. Thanks for coming, Juniper. This was it. This is where we'd make our last stand. I looked around the room, at everyone, at all my friends, and nodded to each of them determinedly. Okay, I know things are rough, but I've got, let's say, a good 60 to 80% of a plan for how we can turn things around. Like, we can all agree what happened wasn't our fault, yes? Someone else screwed us over. Every problem we faced could be traced back to them. The ghost monsters and Lovely Chainsaw may be to blame, but the court of public opinion puts the blame squarely on our shoulders. Our venue is tainted by their actions. We can cry foul all we like, but if there's even a chance of violence returning to our doorstep, it'll keep customers away. It's a real bummer. We haven't seen any families since opening day. Parents just aren't willing to take their children somewhere that's known for being dangerous. Actually, I wasn't talking about the gangs. Today I learned who our true enemy is, and that person is Deko Nami.
Pardon me?
Deko Nami? I don't follow. Yes, I'm rather miffed over what happened with the Funplex, but he's hardly to blame for our current woes. Right? Earlier, when he was taunting me, he slipped, mentioning the ghost monsters by name. Except those hackers keep their nose clean. They left us with no proof that they were even involved thanks to our security cameras being wiped. The cops didn't go after them. The news didn't identify them. So, how did Deko know about them? Answer: Deko hired the ghost monsters to ruin our opening day.
What?
Seriously? In hindsight, it should have been obvious. I blame myself for not seeing it sooner. Far too many coincidences to be otherwise. The fact that they only started wreaking havoc once Mrs. DeFam showed up to bear witness. I can see what you're throwing down. Sue and her friends didn't seem awful at first. I remember talking to Clyde. They were very nice and friendly. Then Ms. DeFam showed, and...
Oh my!
Oh my gosh, wait. Do you think Ms. DeFam is involved? Considering she was willing to hold back her review, I don't think she's knowingly involved. But Deko may have gotten wind she'd be showing up and took advantage.
What if?
But you don't think Deko wouldn't stoop that low, right? Hiring some random street gang to mess with us? Would he? Oh, he would. He's a spiteful bastard. Of course he'd try to ruin our opening day. The only reason he didn't destroy Miss Francine was out of some weird sort of gentlemanly respect for a fellow elder business owner. But to Deko Nami, Hulyen is basically pawn scum. Thanks? To be fair, I doubt he orchestrated the bullet-riddled finale of the evening. That pushes plausibility. True, he wouldn't have even needed a shooting to ruin us. The negative review alone would have done the job. Being even slightly associated with a gang would have been awful. If Ms. DeFam reported to us as a hotbed of teenage chaos, a living reenactment of Lord of the Flies, it'd spell doom even without bullets flying around. I guess we're lucky she held her review back. The problem is, we have no proof of this, do we? No way to tie Deko back to the ghost monsters other than him slipping up and mentioning them? I doubt he'd ever admit to this on record. Iris hasn't been able to dig up any digital evidence, although there's our eyewitness testimony, which should be enough to warrant some investigation. But for some reason, that doesn't seem to be enough for the police. I know a few of the local cops and how they think. If they're not looking into the ghost monsters, odds are they're actually looking into the ghost monsters quietly, which admittedly doesn't help us in clearing our name. It's too much to hope that Deko simply confesses to orchestrating the incident which ruined us.
Come on!
Ugh, that slimy bastard's not getting away with this. I'll beat the truth out of him if I have to. Hey, she's got a new jacket. Good work, Queen Bee. As amusing as that would be, I wouldn't suggest it, love. We need to be smart about this and undermine him rather than take the direct approach. You mentioned having most of a plan. Care to elaborate? Well, if Deko won't confess his sins, we need the next best thing. We need his henchmen to flip on him. See, I sense some tension from Deko about the ghost monsters. He called them childish and immature. There may be some bad blood between them. How about we break up their partnership? My plan is to track down the ghost monsters, get them to turn on their employer, and confess their crimes. Once the media hears it from Sue herself that the incident was all thanks to Deko's scheming, it'll clear the good name of Arcade Spirits. This plan is foolproof. I'm answered with a myriad of blank stares and blinks. Don't everybody congratulate me all at once now. Okay, so this isn't really me criticizing, but your plan, kinda sucks. You want us to track down a bunch of hackers we already can't find, and then ask them politely to betray the guy who's been paying them a lot of money? Between this and the shooting, I'm worried your health insurance premiums are about to go through the roof. That's why I said it was maybe 60% of a good plan. Look, we don't have a lot of options, people. Right now, the only ones who can save us are the ones who ruined us. Deko and Sue. I'm confident that if I can find Sue and talk to her, I can get her to see reason. It's true. She was willing to give them another chance and hear out their side of things before. Sue really seems to really like arcade spirits. If there's some disagreement between her and Deco about our arcade, that could be why. Exactly. I think I can get through to her if I try. This hinges on our ability to find Sue. Find an unfindable bunch of ghosts, ones Iris can't even track down. And that's where you all come in. All options on the table. I want to hear your ideas for how we find Deco's hired goons. Let's fill in the other 40% of my plan and make this happen. And awkward glances back and forth are all I get in return. I get why they're concerned. This is the slimmest of hopes, the narrowest of margins. I'm asking them to follow me on a hunch. But I know this can be done. I know I can get Sue to give us the dirt, and we need to clear our name. Heck, some days it feels like all I can do is talk my way through problems. If that's my one special skill, I'm gonna rely on it for this final conflict. Now if we could just find her. For that, I need their help. That means I need to motivate them like a true leader would. Yeah, we gotta go with just the, you wanna just let Deco beat us? What? Are we just gonna lay down and die then? Decide it's too much trouble to save arcade spirits? Deco tried to buy this arcade not half an hour ago. I sent him packing. Because I believe in what we've made. Because I believe we can win. We fought so hard to get where we are today. I'm gonna keep fighting and fighting until I've got nothing left in me. Are you willing to do the same? You have my sword! And my bow! And my ass! Wait, no, axe. Damn, I always get that one wrong. Everyone nods in agreement, and I can even see some smiles start to appear. We're all on board. Now just to determine the how of the plan. Queen Bee, please. Queen Bee's great. Decision. Finding the ghost monsters.
Perhaps.
Oop.
Perhaps.
At the risk of stating the obvious, why don't we talk to the police about this? They've proven unhelpful so far, but if we go down to the station and fully explain our situation, we may be able to gain the information we need. I feel this would be a reasonably steady course of action. I'm not certain about just showing up and asking for them to open their files to us, but you're correct, the police would have the information we need. Except cybercrime is a sticky situation. You have to control leaks. If they're looking into the ghost monsters, they won't just tell us outright. The key is talking to the right people. I know most of the cops at Ben and Matt's Donut Shop by name, and I know one friendly officer that'll help us.
Nope, no way.
Why get the cops involved? We already know someone who's got an axe to grind against Sue and her buddies. Or rather, a chainsaw.
Ooh.
That's right, Queen Bee. We can ask the lovely Chainsaw Gang. They'll be easier to find and would probably be thrilled to divulge all kinds of dirt they have on the ghost monsters. Or they'll carve us up with their switchblades. Could go either way. I'll admit this is a super gutsy move, but if we pull it off, we don't need to involve the authorities at all. The whole situation's a bit too sticky for my liking. Cops and robbers? No thank you. Although the alternative I'm about to suggest may be stickier still. Hulyen first met the ghost monsters at Deco's palace, yes? They're regulars there. So we investigate Deco's palace to find someone who knows Sue and her mates. If we can find a good friend of hers, make them understand why we need to speak with Sue. Well, we're already on somewhat good terms with Sue, thanks to Hulyen remaining diplomatic about all this. We should keep that going. I think I'd attract too much attention if I went to Deco's palace. I show my face around there, it's going to raise some questions. But my face wouldn't. Deco doesn't know me. I was Funplex adjacent rather than a Funplex regular. And I think the last time I set foot in a Deco's palace was years ago, so I could wander freely with Juniper. Yeah, we could slip in and ask about Sue without anybody even noticing. I'd say this kindly strategy is an honest appeal to those who may know her. What could be more cordial?
Definitely.
If she's got a single friend in that place, I'll find them. That's probably our course of action if we take a look at our stats here. Yeah, that seems good. If it's likeliness to succeed based on stats, I think we go with that one. It's a daring mission in enemy territory, but for you, I'll do it. What are you looking at me for? I don't have any ideas.
Well.
You could try Googling for her accounts? I'm reasonably sure Iris already tried that. Iris? Yep. I even used Yahoo, Bing, Alta Vista, and Web Crawler. I have no idea what half of those are. Okay, but that's not really what I meant. I mean, checking online forums for arcade enthusiasts. She loves arcades, right? She may have an account there. No DuckDuckGo or Ask Jeeves. We didn't ask Jeeves. I've been rejoining online communities lately to try to open up to like-minded folks and socialize a bit more on my own terms. She's got to be lurking in one of those places. Hydrate. My tea is cool enough to drink. It's delicious. How dare you not ask Jeeves? I don't even know if Ask Jeeves is even still a thing. Oh wait, I know. If we can't passively search for her, we can actively call her out. As much as I hate internet trolls, they do get results. If we taunt the ghost monsters online, well, I'm positive Sue's the sort of person who looks up herself constantly, right?
A winner is you!
Of course! And with my help, we can establish fake accounts to spread the message so far and wide that she can't miss it. I'd suggest we use a public internet access point to keep it from being traced back to arcade spirits, though. Ooh, road trip. Road trip! I can tell from Gavin wincing at this that he's not a fan. But he's not a fan of Iris in general, so...
Good work.
I like this plan, Miss Naomi. It's pretty quirky, but it just might work. Well, I did say I wanted options. Involving the cops after all the semi-shady things we've done is risky. So is provoking a rival gang of armed hooligans. So is infiltrating Deco's palace. So is... Okay, posting a fuel troll messages isn't that risky, given how many social media companies actually adore trolls and nurture them for advertising dollars. But it could annoy Sue. What's the best path forward? But before I can decide, Juniper raises her hand. All these sound great, but you're still recovering from an injury. The less moving around you do, the more likely you'll heal nice and quick. You can't go gallivanting around the city chasing down rumors about the ghost monsters today. I'm just on crutches. I'm not in an iron lung or anything. I'm still mobile. Light duty only. Doctor's orders, remember? But I have a solution for this conundrum. It's simple and super effective. Let us do this for you. You've had to tackle all these problems since joining the Funplex by yourself. Why not step back and let us handle this one? Well, okay. But I need to be there when we finally confront Sue. While you're out and about, I guess I'll get some rest so I'm ready for tonight. Sound good? Sounds good. These are my friends. I trust them entirely, and I trust that each of these options will work for getting us what we need. So now, the only question is, which plan do I want to give my Hulyen seal of approval? This one. Obviously this one. I think our best bet is to keep things quiet. Not involve the police or criminals, not troll the internet, just ask around for some of Sue's friends. Juniper, Percy, you two head off to Deco's palace and see what you can learn. It's less likely to backfire. At worst, you get arrested for loitering around the place, or you get your butts kicked by its security, I guess. Right, we'd best move along then. You can count on me. That's right. She could count on me, always. Hulyen and I have been friends for years and would be BFFs for many years to come. I knew I'd be by her side forever and a day. Okay, so I wouldn't be by her side today. I'd be at Deco's palace looking for clues, like a teenage mystery sleuth. But I was by her side in spirit. Hulyen is always solving all these problems for her other friends at the arcade, always going on crazy adventures and getting into trouble. All while I stayed on the sidelines. But now it's time for Juniper's Day in the sun. Or Juniper's Day under the fluorescent tube lighting, anyway. I've never been to Deco's palace before. I went to Las Vegas once, though. This place very much resembled a bad off-strip casino. Pulsating lights flashing everywhere, the constant chirps from the games, not to mention that heavy smell like greasy fried chicken. Not a pleasant aroma, is it? I notice you wrinkling your nose. I don't really like junk food. I mean, it's all you can swing when you're poor and don't have much free time, but I prefer cooking proper meals myself, you know? But the target demographic of Deco's palace adores anything deep-fried and/or coated in sugar, you see. So have you given any thought to how we'll track down someone who knows our elusive ghostly friends, then? Simple. It's process of elimination. We're looking for teenagers, right? So we can rule out any kids or adults here. Plus, Sue and her friends are delinquents. We find some young miscreants, we'll find our contact. So you're suggesting we wander up to random dangerous-looking teenagers and just start asking them?
Correctamundo.
It's foolproof! Yes, well, if I may suggest something a bit more rigorous in terms of a scientific approach. Before Sue and her friends started running wild at Arcade Spirit, she seemed to express an interest in my Mr. Moopy game. Apparently Deco's Palace has a version of the game that she'd already mastered, one which is strikingly different. I think I should start my search there. Perhaps a fellow Moopy aficionado would recognize Sue and be willing to talk about her. Okay, you hang around Moopy, I'll poke around everywhere else and see what I can find. Text me if you hit pay dirt.
Be seeing ya.
Very well, I'll be in touch. Never made this before special. The old moldy, diet water, stinky drinky, literally just napkins in a cup. Ooh, I want literally just napkins in a cup. Then an hour passed with nothing. I asked around, but nobody had heard of Sue, or they kind of went quiet and made an excuse to leave after I mentioned her name. Thought about, like, chasing down some of the folks who seem to know something, but maybe I'm just not gutsy enough. I don't get it. She makes this sort of thing look so easy. I thought we could just roll up on to Deco's Palace, find someone who looks cyberpunky, get the info, bing bang boom, done. Instead, I'm nursing a watery iced tea at a soda fountain and poking at a basket of french fries. After complaining about the greasy junk food, of course. Well, do you? Huh? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was asking if you wanted a refill on your iced tea. Oh, no, I'm good. Hey, do you know a young woman named Sue by any chance? About this tall, lavender hair, like Smoopy. I have other customers to attend to, excuse me. Well, poop butts. Maybe I've struck out. I'll admit I didn't have much of a plan going into this one. I never had much of a plan, really. Couldn't even work up the nerve to leave that awful job until Hulyen gave me her approval. Like I couldn't lay out my own plan for my life. Being an independent artist is hard work, but at least now I have something resembling a plan for my life. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it. I think that's why I admire Hulyen. Okay, so she needs a nudge now and then to get moving, but once she does get the let out, nothing stands in her way. I need that kind of energy if I'm gonna succeed today. I need to not just sit on my butt eating french fries. I gotta get out there and make this happen. A notification from my phone snatched my attention just as I was getting off my bar stool. Possible lead. Meet me at the Moopy game. This is it! My time to shine! Let's make this happen, Juniper! It takes seconds for me to get there. I can see Percy standing near some weird touchscreen version of Mr. Moopy's magic maze. Just being played by a little girl standing on a step stool.
I did it! I did it!
And if you hit the button, it makes the wizard man eat all the dots. Impressive! You've got wonderful timing, Miss Tia.
Thank you.
Miss Tia, this is my friend, Miss Juniper. Juniper, Miss Tia here was telling me all about her best friend, Miss Sue.
What?
She was?
Definitely.
I mean, yes, I see. Sue, right. Okay, this isn't what I expected. I figure any friend of Sue's had to be some rough and tumble punk, not like a cute little package of smiles and sunshine. How does the leader of a gang of thugs end up friends with a kindergartner? Still, this was my chance. I had to go for it. Let's see. How would Hulyen handle introductions? Very pleased to meet you, and I hope we can be friends. Okay, time to put those years of babysitting practice to good work. Hello, Miss Tia. My name is Miss Juniper, and I'm very pleased to meet you. I hope we can be friends.
Hello.
I like making friends. Unless you steal people's prize tickets, those people are no good. I wasn't planning to. Okay, then we'll be friends. So, how do you know Miss Sue? Oh, Miss Tia was telling me that her brother is a chap we've come to know as Inky. I see. Percy does have a friendly dad vibe. Is he around right now? Last thing we needed for one of the ghost monsters to notice us interrogating his sister for information. Nah, I'm here with my big sister, but she got bored and went off to talk with her friends and drink milkshakes. We come to this arcade lots and lots. My brother usually ignores me too, but Miss Sue is always very nice to me and tells great jokes. And she loves Moopy. She can make the wizard man eat all the dots every time. She taught me how to do it.
Yay!
You just gotta kick the game right here and it'll look all funny for a moment, then munch, 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 she'll eat all the dots right up. I see. Well, Miss Tia, I was hoping to talk to Miss Sue today. Do you know where she is? Or maybe your brother?
It's a secret.
Not supposed to tell nobody. Miss Sue said it was a secret. Okay, Juniper, time to use those powers of persuasion. What would Hulyen do in this situation? I want to be friends with Miss Sue too. I wish I could tell her the whole truth and be honest like Hulyen, but I'll have to be careful too. Miss Sue sounds like a great person, and I'd really love to be friends with her too. She knows a lot about games, right? Yep, Miss Sue knows everything about every game, all of them. I'd really like to talk to her about arcades. She visited my favorite arcade recently, but hasn't come back since then. I just want to talk to her about our arcade. And I promise you I can keep the secret too. All I want to do is talk. I won't hurt her or anything. Well...
BFFs for life.
I understand you want to protect your friend. That's great. You're a great friend. And we'd like to be great friends too. I don't know. Okay, I'm feeling very weird about tricking a little girl at this point. Hulyen sent us here so we could be friendly and diplomatic. Even if it's super easy to dupe this kid, I should be a little more honest. Miss Tia, the thing is...
Ooh.
Someone's being very mean to my friend, Ms. Hulyen, and we're hoping Miss Sue can help us. That's really why we want to talk to her. We want to be friends with Miss Sue so she'll help us against this bully. Maybe she won't want to help, but we have to try. Miss Hulyen believes in being kind to people. That's why she sent us here, to find someone who's friends with Miss Sue so we can make all of this better again. Would you be willing to help us? If you don't want to, that's okay. We'd understand. I don't know. You seem nice, but... You got a super duper double pinky swear promise that you just want to be friends with Miss Sue before I tell you. My smile's a bit forced as I extend my pinky finger. I hate coercing a kid into this sort of thing, but what else can I do? We don't have any other leads. I super duper double pinky swear promise. Okay. There's an old, really old arcade where my brother and Sue and her friends all hang out. It's not too far from my home, and it's got so many games in it. Percy gets his phone out and starts trying to figure out the address based on her description of the area. I'm just relieved to be out of the spotlight as he translates from little girl ease into work map ease. Huh. Says here it's a warehouse owned by Nostalgia Commodities. It's a super big house with one huge room, a real tall ceiling, and stairs and stuff.
Quite good.
Sounds accurate. Very well. Shall we depart? Shall we depart? I'm sure Miss Hulyen is eager to make friends with Miss Sue. Since we're friends and stuff, now, you know, Sue isn't really her name, right? Not her whole name, I mean.
It's a secret.
Her name's a secret, so... I can't ask this poor girl to divulge any more secrets. I already feel a bit weird about this. She motions for me to kneel down, anyway, so she can whisper. Her name is... Wow.
Pardon me?
Pardon? Okay, I gotta go find my big sister. Bye! What was that about? I think I just figured out a lot of what's going on. I'll tell you on the way back to Arcade Spirits. Not only did we learn where Miss Sue was hiding out, but we may have just been handed a heck of a plot twist. Can't wait to get home and divulge this info. And now that I think about it, I'm glad I can help out my BFF. She means a lot to me. We've been friends for years, and hopefully for many more years to come. All we have to do is get past this teensy-weensy little bump on the road, right? Just like stop a megalomaniac arcade czar for ruining all our hopes and dreams using nothing more than a street address and a name. I'm betting she'll want Ashley at her side when they confront Sue, of course, and that's okay. I've had enough excitement for one day. I just hope that I did enough to give her the winning edge, or it'll be game over for us all. Aw, I like the acknowledgement that I would probably want to have Ashley there. I awakened to the sounds of pain. More specifically, the groans of pain escaping from my own throat. Apparently getting shot in the leg hurts. Hurts a lot. And sleeping on the second-hand and play couch, probably not the finest choice for rest. She Deco's daughter or some? We'll find out. The nap was a definite necessity, however. I'm not operating at full speed anymore, and won't be for a few weeks to come. But sleep didn't make my muscles any less achy. If anything, I've got a headache on top of it. Joy of joys! But right now, I got 99 problems and my physical condition ain't one. The fate of arcade spirits is what matters most.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, you should probably be getting up now. I'm up. Goody! So have you given any thought to how you're going to win over Sue's favor once you go confront her? Well, usually I sort of stumble through these things and decide stuff like that on the fly.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's no good. You know those intense identity situations I've been tracking? The ones where you can't take certain approaches that don't mesh with your personality? What, like where I can't go broke if I'm a cautious kind of... where I can't go for broke if I'm a cautious kind of person? Well, it's not so much that you can't, it's more that you shouldn't try something that goes against who you are as a person. People will see right through it. I'm betting Sue will know if you're play acting at something you aren't. This would be a super intense identity situation. Only one way through. When the time comes, you're gonna have to take a stand based on your highest personality score. Oh, okay, that's what I've been doing most of the game. Not more numbers and systems. For your own good, Hulyen, I'm just trying to help you make decisions that will save arcade spirits, and that means being true to your spirit. And what's that mean exactly? You'd offer Sue a plate of pizza bagels? Huh. I bet Iris suggests that before the end of the conversation here. Because when pizza's on a bagel... What's that mean exactly? According to my calculations, right now, your best bet for how to convince Sue is to be kindly. You've done a great job opening your heart to others and getting them to empathize with you. Do that with Sue, and she'll be your friend in no time. Uh-huh. And if I don't want to take that approach... It's a bit late to change who you are as a person. Remember, my numbers and scores only help me understand who you are. Who you are is who you've chosen to be. It's a causal relationship. But with the help of your friends, you can maybe get some ideas, nudge things around a bit until you feel confident in taking a different tactic than your usual one. Speaking of your friends, here's one now. Oh my gosh, have I got news for you. Ashley rushes over to my side and sweeps me up in a hug, somewhat delicately crushing me into her. It's nice to feel her warmth cocooning me. I gently push myself away to peer at her smiling face, eagerly awaiting the word. Well, the suspense is killing me. Is it good news or bad news? Please tell me it's good news. Juniper and Percy did it. They befriended a little girl at Deco's. Turns out the little girl is friends with Sue and got the deets from her. To think Sue has actual friends, what are the chances? So we for sure know where their secret hideout is, and you'll never believe this. Ashley looks around briefly, making sure there are no other prying ears, and listens in. Her hushed words tickle my ears. We know her real name. It's Sue Nami. Called it. Good work, Big Boss Sons. Also, it's a terrible pun. I approve. I jolt back, stunned. Sue Nami? We'd been assuming all along that the ghost monsters were guns for hire paid off by Deco Nami to ruin our opening day. But if Sue is actually Deco's daughter... I feel sorry for any kid named after an awful pun. I'm gonna need to be very, very careful. I was assuming I could sway Sue to my side through my oratory skills. I mean, I've talked my way out of countless problems to date without issue. But having Deco Nami be family changes the entire picture. No amount of logic and reason is going to break through bonds of blood. I'm going to need to be very careful how I approach this. I swear I didn't look it up. Okay, this changes everything. It's absolutely bonkers, right? I would have never guessed that. Not a million years. My chat guessed that. This makes things more complicated, doesn't it? How are we supposed to convince her now that we know that they're family? Blood is thicker than water. Well, we'll just have to make our water real thick like a slushie. I know you'll think of something. And when you do, I want to be there. Right alongside you, the whole time. Psst. I want you to be by my side, Ashley. Always. You give me strength and happiness I thought I could never have. I feel the same way about you too. I know it sounds silly and cliche, but you complete me. And completely, I'm ready to be with you through this. Through anything life sends us. I'll be with you as long as I live. Together. We're in this together, you and I, forever. Forever. All this mushy stuff is fantastic, but maybe we should save it for afterwards. What's the plan, anyway? Iris told me I only get one chance at this, that I need to go with whatever I can do best, but if I talk this through with someone, maybe I can learn a different path. I don't have a concrete one yet. I'm open to ideas. How would you handle this? She's a colorful girl. She's got spunk and she's got sass. I think you should play to those strengths and joke around with her. Maybe if we match up her antics with ours, we just might beat best her at her own silly game. Sue likes games. I'm not sure leaving it up to Jess and Japes is the best way to tackle Sue. While she seems to like fun and games, she is a very real threat to arcade spirits. I just know what I know, but one thing's for sure. I trust your opinion on this. Ashley takes my hands in hers as her jovial manner ends on a serious note. She looks assuredly into my eyes. I will follow you into the depths of hell. Hopefully the hideout isn't located in some sort of fiery depths, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Thank you.
And I appreciate everything you've done for me. Ashley closes the distance between us and our lips touch. It's a long, passionate kiss, one I never want to end. But I know it must. Ashley pulls back, her cheeks flushed as her hair playfully falls in front of her face. I know there's stuff you gotta do before you go, so I won't stall you any longer. I believe in you. We all do. She places one more sweet kiss upon my lips and leaves. Well, this is it. Either we sort this mess out, or Arcade Spirits crashes and burns. Or I get, killed. I guess that's always an option, considering we're about to confront a street gang that indirectly got me shot in the first place. I don't even want to consider the possibility of death. I'm immortal until proven otherwise. But, well, if this is the end, I should probably have some words with my friends before I march toward doom. If only to get their opinion on how I should approach Sue. Grabbing my crutches, I thump swing my way out to the arcade proper to track down some folks. Let's see. I've already talked with Ashley. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Well, let's talk to everyone. Naomi would be in her workshop, no doubt. I should check in with her, see how she feels about all this. Looks like she's happily tinkering with some old 1980X arcade circuit board. Hey, Naomi. Hey, good to see you. I remember when I first met her, she'd jump in surprise if I approached her like this. Seems those days are over. Now I'm greeted with a warm smile. You could play the card you took a literal bullet for? Yeah. Listen, I'm heading out to talk to Sue soon, and I just wanted to talk to you before I go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll do great. In all the time I've known you, you've been terrific with people. Better than I've ever been, at least. If anyone could sway her to her side, it's you. I mean, look at all this. She gestures, arms wide to her surroundings. What, your workshop? No, I mean Arcade Spirits itself. Look at everything you've built. And how do you do it? By talking to people. Helping them understand your dream. You get what I mean, right? By being who you are, you can make miracles happen. Naomi, I'm just me. Little old me. I've got a big heart, and I wear it on my sleeve, but it's up to others to decide if they want to do the same and join me. So far, it's worked out okay, but tonight, I don't know. Maybe I'm not up to this. Tonight, Sue will see your heart and know you're in the right while her father's in the wrong. Don't be so humble that you downplay your own accomplishments. You know, I know what it's like to cut yourself down a peg, scared of being too proud. It's easy to fall into that trap. So when I say you're a great person, take the compliment. Okay then. So how do you think I should approach Sue? Well, if it were me... I'm not happy with how they ruined our opening day. Honestly, I'm downright miffed about it. I'd probably go at them with like a fireball because I'm downright fierce. But I know that probably wouldn't work. Taking the high road is the better path. We've got a steep hill to climb here, making her flip on not only a partner in crime, but on her family. So you're gonna have to try to understand her heart. See your heart? Hopefully not literally. Oh no, she's about to do a finish him on me. Pull out my heart. And then I die. And it says fatality. She kept saying she likes our arcade. Play into that. Be kind, understanding, and empathetic. Yep, absolutely. Challenging her ego and insulting her is definitely not going to work. Playing nice makes sense, you're right. I'll consider it. Believe me, I kind of want to kick her teeth in. But I know that's wrong, Even if we're never friends, we have to at least try to understand her. I'd better get back to work. These replacement ROMs aren't going to socket themselves. Even if the arcade ends up closing down? Deciding to be optimistic? You can do it. Best of luck. Oh, hey, mind if I ask your opinion on something? Sure, what's up? What do you think of Gavin? Like, I mean, I know he's a money-grubbing, prize-game-loving stick in the mud, but... Well, ever since Arcade Spirits and all of us working together, I don't know, maybe he's softened up a bit. I think you're a good influence on him. Do you think he'd be the type of person to put old arguments aside and, like, No, we've got to stay focused. We need to save the arcade. Forget I brought it up. After offering a brief hug of support, Naomi returns to her work. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? We're just going to go down the list. I find Gavin looming large over the arcade floor behind the ticket desk. Seems he was expecting me. So, our complications have developed complications. Seems to be the case. And you'd like my advice on the matter. Seems to be the case. Be clear with Sue. Be honest. Be ready to rise to whatever challenges she poses to you.
Perhaps.
She has a crush on Gavin? Oh yes, definitely. If you let her make the first move, you can counter move through improvisation. I know you're talented at it. Use that talent to let her set up her own traps and step in them. Treat her with respect, but in the end, she's just a kid. You can outthink a teenager, I'd like to believe.
Take this matter seriously.
You take the situation seriously and approach with a clear mind, I've no doubt you'll win the day. Agreed? I'll consider other options. I don't know if I'm taking a high-minded intellectual approach is going to work with Sue. I'll consider it, but maybe not. As you like, I'm sure you'll think of something. You know, when you first came to the Funplex, I had serious doubts about you. I'd assumed you'd just fill a seat and do the low-level labor while I focused on higher-order management tasks. To be fair, he is rather handsome. Yep. Agreed. He looks like he was also kind of surprisingly buff under the shirt with the swimsuit there. So I've largely kept my distance, or tried to at least, out of professional respect. But I can't help but have come to know you over the time we spent together. You're not a minimum wage trainee any longer. You've taken opportunity and run with it, developing not only the Funplex, but a whole new arcade as well. I know we're facing a difficult challenge. It's not going to blindly assume everything will just be fine either, or I'm not going to.
Certain.
But I know that if this is possible, if we can stave off bankruptcy, you will be capable of doing it. And if not, I can always sell my vital organs. Thank you, Gavin. I'm glad I've earned your respect. I worked hard to get all of us where we are today, and I don't intend to let any of you down. Of that, I have no doubt. All that remains is for me to wish you the best in your efforts tonight. Do Arcade Spirits proud. Do us all proud. We're counting on you. Naomi especially. I swore to protect her dream once, even if I've been inadequate at the task, unable to truly understand her heart. I hope she can forgive me for my earlier mistakes now that we're all pulling together for Arcade Spirits. I must admit a fondness. Oh, just go talk to her. Have you told her that? Well, no, but perhaps I should. Yes, you should. Oh, look at the smile. He's got a sly little smile. It's adorable. Not that I mean to distract you, as you were. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? That was adorable. Percy. Undoubtedly Percy's playing Moopy, right? Or not. He seems to be just sort of loitering around the Moopy machine.
Hello.
Ah, you've heard the news then? That our archenemy is the father of our secondary archenemy? Yep.
Rather unfortunate.
Unpleasant business, that. Simply unpleasant. I wish I could offer you boundless enthusiasm and a show of confidence, but this whole situation's gotten rather out of hand, hasn't it? As your business partner, my advice at this stage would be to cash out while you still can. I mean, I know you won't, but that's what I'd suggest. Life is short. Take it from me. Best to make the most of what you have than to lose it all. So apologies for my inability to offer a pep talk. Afraid I'm rather melancholy today. It's okay, Percy. I'll take care of this little problem we're facing. And I'll hold out hope. I'm not even certain as to how you'll do this, but I'll hold out hope nonetheless. Well, how would you do it if you were willing to give it a go? Tricky. I don't know how effective it would be, but I'd try to approach as a friend. Connect with Sue on an individual level. It's going to be difficult, mind you. She's young, she's got something to prove, she has friends that she needs to impress. Digging through all that to get to her heart, well, you've got your work cut out for you, yes? I've been considering taking a gentler approach, yeah. Thanks for the advice, Percy. Anytime, love. No matter what, if this turns violent again, you should take the better part of valor and run for it. You've got your youth and your health. Taken from Sunman sitting in the Reaper's waiting room, there's no sense hastening that meeting. He always seems to joke about his own short lifespan, even if he's the only one who seems capable of laughing at it. Maybe I should really try to talk to him about this. Look, Percy, about your condition. Can I donate my heart or so I'll get a pocket knife and sort this out? Are you sure your condition is truly a death sentence? Can nothing really be done? Percy, we love you. You're part of the Arcade Spirits family. I'd rather have you be here with us, enjoying Moopy, rather than attending your funeral. I know everyone else feels the same way. So are you sure there's nothing left to do? He does seem to be a bit taken aback at the outpouring of sentiment, and pauses before replying.
Well,
I suppose it's not like no stone's gone unturned. There are some options. Like hydrating and drinking delicious tea. That is an option we will take right now. I just don't see the point of taking them. It seems a waste. I'm not all that you seem to think I am. Not compared to... So you're saying there are options that could save you? Could? Maybe? Possibly? And I may consider them. Perhaps. But our focus tonight should be on you, not me. Don't let my situation weigh on your mind. Not at this critical moment. I'll hear no more of it. Understand? Fine.
lovely.
Now go out there and do right by your friends. Save Arcade Spirits. I've decided to hold out hope after all. Lovely, isn't it? Yes, but we're not done talking about this, Percy. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? I'm sure this won't at all be a profanity-laden conversation. Obviously, Queen Bee is playing Fist of Discomfort, right? I make my way to the FOD cabinet, and I'm in no way surprised to see her playing. Well, this time it's without the fancy break and camera setup. Just her.
Come on!
I effing hate playing against the AI. It's no challenge at all. I do this with my effing eyes closed. Hey kid, jump in here and be my opponent. I know better than to do that, Queen Bee. You would pulverize me inside and out, and I'd be nothing but a human flesh puddle by the end. Sort of like how you're gonna take down the Deco family? Huh? Queen Bee deftly hits a button combination, which officially takes out her AI enemy. Removing herself from the cabinet, she pulls at her jacket, straightening it out. I'm imagining you going to Sue's hideout, kicking down the front door, guns a-blazing, yelling at the top of your lungs, and challenging Sue to one final showdown. What do you think? I think you've been talking too much with Ashley. Her imagination is rubbing off on you. Listen, Sue's a gamer, and we know she's got a bit of a competitive streak, right? Be confident and throw down with your best crap talk. She won't be able to fight against it. She'll easily see we're superior to Daddy Dearest. I don't think she'd appreciate that. As much as I'd like to, Sue doesn't like the spotlight being taken from her. I think there's a better way to handle this. You may be right. No matter how you decide to take Sue out, as one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, I endorse you. In fact, I wouldn't have furthered my career as a pro gamer if it wasn't for you. When you first showed up at the Funplex, I thought you were going to be easy fodder for me to crush beneath my heels. Is this supposed to make me feel better? Hold on a minute, kid. Let me finish. But as I got to know you, you aren't just another fan. You're a true friend. Sometimes, when I'm frustrated, I look to you for inspiration. Me? I'm just me.
Not bad.
Yeah, right? Watching you overcome your fears and fight for Arcade Spirits, it makes my soul burn. Makes me realize I can overcome anything, too. Even my most hardcore battles. So when you go in there tonight, don't have any doubt. You're an effing badass person. And an even more badass friend. I am effing awesome. I cherish you as a friend, too. Queen Bee, I'm so happy to have you as a friend. You've shown me the wild side of tournaments, victories, combined with a whole lot of swears. I'd never have the chance to experience that if not for you. You're too sweet, kid. Glad you got to see what it's like to be an esports superstar. But seriously, You're the superstar. Okay, I can't handle any more of this mushy friendship talk. It's gonna ruin my reputation as the most radical person here. We can't have that. I don't think anyone believes you are less than radical.
Hey, thanks.
Now go do your thing. And don't forget to kill him dead tonight. So I'm about to retort, she beats me to it. I meant that literally, not figuratively. Ta! Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Teo. There's just one place I know I'm going to find Teo. When I get there, he's already on stage, grooving to the beat. It's exactly like the day I first encountered Teo. Not a care in the world besides the BPMs and the flashing lights surrounding him. Never skip a day, do you? Even when impending doom is nigh. Even when we're about to go head-to-head with Sue? I think I might have missed a couple days when I got the flu once. But seriously, just thinking about you facing off against Deco's daughter worried me the heck out. That's why I hopped on Showtime stage, to quell the anxiety. Dancing is a good way to clear the mind and work off any stress. Teo wipes the sweat from his brow as he hops down from the cabinet to join me on the arcade floor. Teo's carefree nature sheds, and he looks me dead in the eyes. You don't realize how much you've impacted us all, do you? I know it may not seem like it, but all of us have been impacted by what you've done for us and for our arcades.
Thank you.
We're all super grateful. Especially me and my crew. You've helped me grow my community of dancers and kept us from harm. Even when we tend to break the fire codes. I feel like you took the charge for that. I just provided a place for you all to play Showtime stage. Exactly. Without you, my crew... No, me. I wouldn't have been able to grow much without your guidance. You've taught me so much. Since I met you, you've shown that it's possible to care for others and take care of your own needs. And for that, I'm truly honored to be your friend. Look at that Care Bear stare. Friends are so important to me. Through the Funplex, I've made such close ones, too. I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of us. Without my friends, I'd be lost. We'd be lost without you. Lost in the sea of beeps and boops. I smile at Teo. He's always got a way to bring up the mood. And right now, I could use that brightness. Your words are comforting. But Teo, with you and everyone else counting on me, maybe I should get up on the stage and dance. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't stressed. And you have every right to be. You have to find a way to convince Sue to join our side. I don't envy you right now, not one bit. By the way, how are you going to do that? What's the plan? I'm still trying to figure that out exactly. What would you do if you were me? Teo takes a minute to really think it over. Sue's still a teenager, right? Very much so. What do teenagers do best? Rebel? Precisely. And how do they rebel? By doing what they want when they want. They're all about having fun. Appeal to her sense of adventure and mischief. You're sure to convince her that if you act as childish, she will. She may be young. This isn't like a game of hide and seek. She's smarter and wilder than that. Being silly isn't going to do me any favors on winning her favor. You always know best. No matter what happens in there, Mateo and his wily crew of dancers have always got your back. You're part of our community, after all, and a bond like that never dies. Thanks for always believing in me. No problem, my friend. Now get out there and show him your moves. May I talk to Juniper? Juniper's trying to play Fast Cars 5 despite being totally lousy at it, which is not helping her frustration level any. Stupid Frezza mother-loving slow drivers blocking my lane.
Come on.
This whole situation is total poop butts. She lets out a heavy sigh as I approach.
That sucks.
You just dug yourself out of the hole your life had become, and now you're gonna lose another arcade? It sucks. Seriously sucks. Arcade Spirits isn't lost yet. It's not like you have a total plan for how to save it yet, right? Other than talk to someone who may or may not help. Honestly, that's about as much of a plan as I ever have. And right now, it's as good of a plan as we're gonna get. If you were going in my place, how would you handle this? Well, I guess there's two tricks I'd try. One, she's a teenager, right? A rebel to the core. Be a rebel, a dissident, a class clown, connect with her on that level, and make her feel you're wild too. Two, she's a teenager, right? I remember being young and totally stupid. Let her make a mistake, then outthink her. Keeping calm and using that to react to her moves. I guess they're wildly different ideas, but hey, one of them will work, right? I like how she gets two, so you get two options to agree with each of the stats. I'm not sure either of those would do the job. I may need to be more empathetic or just go for broke. We'll see. Okay, whatever you think works best.
Definitely.
You know I'm proud of you. You've come so far from Blue Family Curse days when you'd blame all of your misfortunes on fickle fate. Instead, you're diving in and trying to strangle fate with its own strings. And I want you to know, win or lose, I'll still be here.
BFFs for life.
I'm your best friend, arcade or no arcade. And even if you lose this place, you'll always have a home. I'll make sure I'll make you pizza bagels and give you a shoulder to cry on. If you ever see another pizza bagel, I will hurl. Thank you, Juniper. Your support means a lot to me. You're my best friend forever, my BFF, and that will never change. Oh, you're making me blush, you big goof. Okay, I'm sufficiently cheered up thanks to your infectious spirit. Now get out there and let him have it, Tiger. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Nobody. Ready to leave. I'm gonna drink some more tea before we do that. Figured there'd be lots of reading today. No sense putting it off any longer. I talked to everyone that I wanted to. I gathered as much information as I could. I'm just delaying the inevitable at this point. It's time to do this. For the sake of my future, my dreams, my friends' dreams, and arcade spirits itself. I take Ashley's hand in mine as a soft smile curls my lips. We're ready to depart and face our destiny together. Maybe some of this will be voiced. I'm gonna adjust. It's a short trip across town. Before we know it, we're standing outside Ghost Monsters HQ, a rundown warehouse on the bad side of town. A wooden sign, long since fallen off the side of the building, identifies it as belonging to Nostalgia Commodities, Inc. Spoopy! I wonder how many scary ghosts haunt this place. Traditionally, it's 13 ghosts, right? Does that include the ghost monsters? Oh yeah, how could I forget about them? Including them, I'd reckon there are 18. But still, too many ghosts for my liking. Can you think of a better place for a street gang to lay low? Odds are Deco owns this building anyway. Correct! Nostalgia Commodities, Inc. is a wholly owned subsidiary of Deco's Palace, LLC. Ah, great. Another obstacle in our path. It's one more thing binding Sue to Deco. Don't give up yet. I'm right beside you and I'm not going anywhere. Although, I'll leave you to do the speaking. You're much better at socializing with the enemy than me. I'll speak up if I notice anything, though. Oh gosh, it's now or never. Yes, Ashley says spoopy too. I sigh once, looking over my companion. I'm sure glad I'm not going at this alone. I'm nervous for sure, but I know what I have to do. I settle down on my crutches, armpits resting on the padding as I prepare to enter the belly of the beast.
Hey, listen.
Iris, kind of about to be in the middle of something here. I know, and I've spontaneously reprogrammed myself to include a new measurable metric which should be useful for your mission. I call it the incredibly right indicator of success. Iris? Or Iris for short. Hey, when you have a great acronym already, you may as well use it. I'm gonna start analyzing Sue's vocal patterns once you step in there to determine how close you are to convincing her. That way you'll know if you're on the right track or if you need to try something different. Let's take a look at your current score. Currently, you have a 0.0 chance of success. Yay? Yep, that's the notification that comes up every time that she wants to get my attention. Well, okay, that's probably a bit disheartening, but think of it like, if I walked away right now, I'd fail miserably instead of I'm doomed. But speaking of doom, well, since there is a chance you can actually fail this time, rather than be assured you can mumble your way through the problem, would you like me to back up your data first? Yeah, huh? Yeah, let's do that. Yes, please. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Iris. You are now ready to proceed. Good luck! Taking a deep breath, I thump swing my way into the warehouse on my crutches with my companion beside me. I don't know what I expected to find on entering the lair of a notorious gang of cybercriminals, but a makeshift arcade that rivals my own was not high on the list. If If this is a dumping ground of a warehouse for Deco's industry, it makes sense, though. A place where old arcade games go to die, turned into a playland for punks. A disorganized maze of games litters the ground floor, poorly lit and barely functional. Only some of the screens are on, and many have serious ghosting and burn-in. As for the ghost monsters themselves, the good news is they haven't noticed our arrival. As I look up, I can see them on the second floor in the catwalks. They seem distracted. That's good news. The bad news? They're distracted because they have a visitor.
Unfortunate.
How unfortunate. I have to say, Sue, I'm extremely disappointed in you. It's hard to get a good angle from down here, hidden in the shadows, but it sounds like the old man's ranting at his daughter in his usual passive-aggressive way. I could stay hidden and eavesdrop on their conversation, gather more information. Yeah, it definitely looks like a Pac-Man maze, which would be appropriate considering who they're named after. Or I could announce myself and barge in on them. Both are risky. But which makes the most sense for how I'm going to have to handle the negotiation we're about to have? Wait. I motion for Ashley to stay quiet as we lurk in the shadows below the catwalks above. You should be out there doing what you agreed to do, not hiding away in your clubhouse. A clubhouse I pay the rent for, I should add. You want to keep your little playground, yes? Hard for me to do so if some competitor rises to hurt my bottom line.
Pay attention.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, Sue. I'm trying to explain how the world works. Pay attention. Yes, Dad. It's hard to tell from this angle, but I could swear she said that through gritted teeth. There's a certain forced tone to it as well.
Am I not generous?
I don't ask for much, I feel. I look the other way when you and your friends cause trouble. I bail you out of jail. I'd let you skip school as often as you want. All told, I feel I've been a lenient father who understands and appreciates his daughter's inclinations. Like you know the first effing thing about me. What was that? Speak up, I can't hear you. Don't look to your little friends, look at me. Reluctantly, Sue's eyes meet with her father's. Yes, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad.
You understand, yes?
All I want from you is so very, very little. It's what you'd be doing anyway, really. Go back there and keep causing trouble for arcade spirits. Or do you want me to pull back all my support of your little gang? Leave you twisting in the wind at the mercy of the cybercrime task force? Of course not, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I think I'm starting to understand the situation. She's under his thumb, but not by choice, and she hates it. Good. Now then, why haven't you finished the job? Oh, come on. I almost effing died thanks to invading lovely chainsaw turf. If we go back there... I'm hearing excuses, Sue. I thought you were made of stronger stuff than that. Some delinquents are chasing you away. Really? How are you going to eventually inherit my empire if you can't stand up to some school brats? Like I want your damn empire.
Pay attention.
Speak up, I said. Quit looking at the floor. And we lock eyes through the metal grate flooring she's standing on. Her hands go to her hips in an overly confident fashion as she bends over like a child finding a lucky penny on the sidewalk. Well, 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 what do you know? Crap, she spotted us. Inky, Blinky, we have guests. She snaps her fingers, and a sudden aura of command about her as she's distracted from the verbal beatdown by her father and goons swarm flanking us. We're quickly hustled up the stairs. Well, as quickly as I can manage on crutches. Now's the time to use this moment to my advantage, and I know just what to say. It's an odd welcome mat, but I'll take it. Sue, Deco, good to see you. Apologies for barging in at this late hour, but you're a little difficult to track down, I've found. Deco's face twists into a grotesque blend of anger and fear. What in the hell? I can't be seen here. If any record ends up online. Jeez, Dad, relax. Relax. Clyde? On cue, Clyde steps out from the shadows, their fingers dancing over their phone as they concentrate on the screen. Both of them have phones. One has an Iris Assistant loaded. We're blocking their outgoing data streams. There should be no verifiable data evidence of this conversation uploaded anywhere. I can't stop Hulyen's Iris from hearing you, but I can hijack her account if you need me to so we can manually wipe her memory. Just say the word. We'll see. Thanks, Clyde. Clyde nods in agreement, backing out of the spotlight. Happy now, Dad? You're clear. Quit freaking out.
As you like.
Not that it matters. My business with Miss Blue is already concluded. I gave you a chance to escape your crumbling little arcade and you turned me down. If you have no vision, I have nothing further to say to you. Actually, we're not here to talk to you. I came here tonight to have a chat with, wait for it, your daughter. Timing is everything. How did you?
Well, you're a resourceful one. A squeaky clean arcade industry titan can't let anyone know about his hooligan daughter, can he? No. So I've had to keep that under wraps. Good work sleuthing it out.
Yes, my best friend made friends with a tiny girl that you are friends with.
I was hoping I'd see you again. You run a great arcade. You treat me and my friends with respect, and you take a bullet from me? Class. That's a class operation there. I can be totes honest with you when I say I didn't want to ruin your arcade. It rocks. All that snazzy neon, all those great games, all that fun.
I suspect she means it even if she's trying to, rub it in her dad's face as well.
I didn't want to trash your big moment, but, well...
She casts a sidelong glance at her father.
I didn't exactly have a choice, did I?
Dang it. I was drinking tea. I thought I had more time. I spilled some tea on me. It'll be fine. I didn't want to come back and cause you more trouble after that, so I stayed away, figuring I'd done what I had to do and could leave it at that. But you didn't finish the job. Arcade Spirits still stands. Not that it matters, I suppose, nor does this little last-ditch effort to save it. I see your game. It's obvious as the sad little strategic moves you've made so far to keep your arcades afloat. Sadly, nothing you say or do will save Arcade Spirits from my inevitable takeover. This is simply how the industry works. Now, Sue, it's time for you to finish what you started. Sue shifts her attention from her father back to me. It's hard to read what she's thinking, but I have to think of something to calm the tension. I step forward, my fist clenched, ready. But before words escape me, someone is by my side. Sue, pay no attention to that old fuddy-duddy. All your dad does is make everything messy, and that's no fun at all. Meanwhile, look at yourself. You aren't anything like him. You're cool, you're hip, you're fun. And that's all you, girl.
Seriously? If you think you could come here and convince my daughter to turn on me, you're sorely mistaken.
Oh, now she's going to want you just to rub it in his face.
Sue knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence. She knows I'm the one she can rely on at all times. Without me, what is she? Just a simple thief with simple friends.
Oh, that's gonna piss her off. The ghost monsters exchange glances with each other, frowning and rolling their eyes. They don't utter a word or move against Echo. They clearly want to pounce, but hold themselves back.
But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious talents and nurture them. Oh, and I also put a roof over her head, feed her, and clothe her. I spare no expense. In other words, she knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice.
Sue, you want to work at my arcade?
After all, Father knows best. Father knows all. And in the world of arcades, Dekonami knows and controls all. You can't stop that. You can't fight it. And you can't win.
Putting a roof over her head, feeding and clothing her, that's bare minimum for a parent? Yep.
Sue, if you would kindly show our friend the exit, as forcefully as you like, perhaps make a game of it. See if your buddies can wreck the other leg.
Seriously? Vindictive much? Do it. Ugh. Fine. Inky, Pinky, bounce them both. With a flick of the wrist, Sue gestures for her buddies to make us into street pizza. This is it. This is the moment. I need to say something that will convince Sue to do the impossible, to flip on her control freak father. It has to be something absolutely true to my core, to who I've become as a person. It's time for Hulyen Blue to pull one more rabbit out of a hat. What are the ones we can't do? That's your strategy. Toss us out. Surely you can come up with something more clever. Call yourself a gamer. Prove it. Calls for a one-on-one showdown. Come on, where's the fun in that? I came here to battle, and I challenge you to beat the bagel eating contest. You're stronger than him, Sue. You don't need Deco. He needs you, and I can help you see that. This feels wrong, Sue. I'm not talking about kicking us out or kicking us around. I'm talking about you taking orders from him. Sue, through our recent interactions, I've come to know you and your heart. You love arcades, but you're working for someone who loathes them while doing his dirty laundry. If you'll hear me out, I know I can help you see that too. You're stronger than Deco. You don't need him. He needs you. But if you'd rather mash us into paste, well, I stand on one foot, arms wide, to make it a bit easier for her. Do as you wish. Are you quite done babbling yet?
A foolish fool.
Get this over with, Sue. I'm done dealing with this fool. And yet, Sue's holding up a hand to stop the two goons she was about to sick on us. What are you waiting for, young lady? I said to get rid of them. It's just babbling, right? So who cares? Specifically, why do you care, Dad? You afraid Hulyen will say something you don't want your dear daughter to hear?
I run the show, not you.
Heh heh heh, we're doing it. Well, I want to hear this out. And if you don't want to hear it, no one's keeping you here, old man. What? Shh. The adults are talking. Okay, I like her. Deco's visibly seething, but Sue's clearly taken the floor. Deco crosses his arms in defiance, but opts to let his daughter continue. Please tell me she gets to come work at my arcade. Okay. You've got a temporary reprieve to my boys making you into Picasso. Say what you came to say, but if I'm not super duper and totally incredibly swayed by your amazing charisma, you're out the door. Or possibly the window. This is it, my chance to convince Sue. I have to do this. And it's not just me. I have Ashley beside me, lifting me up. I look over at my love, my heart, and I smile. Deep breaths, count to 10, refocus myself. I slow my racing pulse, bringing this down to something more heartfelt, more personal. I have to connect with Sue, empathize with her. This isn't about being convincing. I need to befriend her and lay bare the emotional truths in her heart. I glance at Iris on my phone screen, who simply shrugs. We're entering far more subtle territory. I can't rely on her to tell me what responses may or may not work. It's time to be the best I can be on my own. I have 4 more attempts. Invoke the power of friendship. Also invite her back to your arcade. Yeah, that's the one I... Hey, Sue. You like arcade spirits, right? I offered you a second chance before. It still stands. I'd welcome you and your friends returning to enjoy our games. It's not like you wanted to hurt us. If you agree to stop pushing Deco's agenda by messing with arcade spirits, you can swing by anytime you like. I'll even comp you some tokens. Sound good? Absolutely. Except for, you know, the small problem of the lovely chainsaw lying in wait to finish the job and put me in the dirt. Afraid that a couple bucks in tokens won't go real far in paying for my funeral. I appreciate the offer and all, but honestly, if I want to come back, I'd come back, banned or not. There's bigger things at play than what I want, though. But she raises a hand, shutting me down. Done talking about this. We're done. Damn, honestly thought that'd work, but she shut me down so fast I doubt she'd want me to push any harder. Alright, power of friendship. Here's something I've been paying close attention to as we spar back and forth like this. The ghost monsters. They're trying to be unreadable, just part of the background noise of the scene. But I can read them. Clyde especially is looking like they're holding back a lot of feelings. Sue, do you think that without Deco you'd be alone? What about them? I gesture to the 3 supremely buff dudes and the nervous-looking individual accompanying them, all in their color-coordinated clothes. I think you're forgetting the ghost monsters. They're more than a gang, they're your friends. They'll support you if Deco won't. If he tries to burn you, they'll stand in front of the flames. You've got the power of friendship on your side, whereas your father doesn't have a friend in the world and needs to rely on you. What, this smattering of thugs and children? You think they can keep her out of jail? You think they can feed her or clothe her? Laughable. I'd do that. I don't care if it takes my whole allowance or I have to go get a real job. I'd help her if you won't. Clyde, this isn't... No, Sue, please listen to me. I don't like speaking up. Your dad, he scares me. But Hulyen is right. We're your friends, and we'll be here for you. Right? F yeah. Ghost monsters, ride or die. 20th century television sitcoms teach us that a group of self-chosen friends are the new family structure of America according to many critical studies. So please don't feel you'd be alone if you chose to stand with Hulyen. You won't be. Clyde shifts embarrassedly, averting their eyes to the ground, shuffling their feet. It's like they really want to say something but can't find the courage within.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, you love her, don't you, Clyde? Oh, that's so cute. You two are so cute. Please don't hold back on our account. You're among friends here. I also love Ashley. Clyde looks shocked that Ashley just outed him, but eventually they shrug and smile warmly at Sue. Sue blushes in return. Ah, heck. I love you too. I always have. Sue sweeps Clyde up in a giant bear hug and places a tender kiss on their cheek, causing the timid one to turn bright red. This brings a tear to my eye. I'm so happy for you both. Love conquers all. This is ridiculous. Sue, friendship is irrelevant. What matters is power, and your friends have none. Do you really want to trade a powerful ally for a weaker one? As much as I hate to give in to some silly cartoon notion of friendship conquering all, well, I am a ghost monster.
Ghost monsters for life!
Beaming, Clyde squeezes Sue's hand tightly before Clyde steps back to join their friends. Absurd. Simply absurd. Alright, that was good, that was good. Let's see here. Offer a place to stay. So, let me be clear about this. The reason you won't side with me over your father is you're worried he'll burn you, kick you out of his home, abandon you on the street. Let's put aside the question of whether holding such a threat over your head indicates a loving father or not. I mean, it doesn't, but what you need is a place to stay to avoid being homeless. I'll offer my home. Oh, wait, seriously?
Bad idea, friend. Bad idea.
I wrecked your arcade, and now you offer me 3 hots and a cot? I'm generous like that. Huh. Well, she can stay with me. If it comes to that. Clyde, seriously? I wouldn't want to put you out. My parents like you. I like you. And they'd understand your situation. Please don't feel like you have no options. You've got your friends. You've got me. Just think about it, okay? Please? I wouldn't actually drive her from my home.
You understand.
That was just a figure of speech. I'm saying that I'm her provider. I'm the reason she's able to... No, I'm pretty sure you meant what you said. You've threatened me with all the dire consequences of disobedience more times than I can count. I'm getting sick of it. So don't think you can hold that over my head any longer.
Think about this.
This would be a mistake, Sue. Think about more than what roof you happen to be sleeping under. I can provide you in ways you cannot provide for yourself. Beyond food and clothing and a place to stay. Legal protection, notably. I keep you off various radars. I make sure my enemies aren't aware you exist. You're safe under my wing. Oh, definitely. Maybe I just don't care anymore. Maybe I'd rather flame out than put up with your bull. Ooh, 99.97%. Sounds like she's starting to see through his supposed generosity. Good. Reminder, she was almost killed for Deco. I think there's a pretty simple indicator of how much Deco cares about you, Sue. He nearly got you killed. He didn't know that was lovely chainsaw territory when he asked us to go to Arcade Spirits. Did you tell him? Of course. And how did he react? He didn't care.
I don't follow.
Why should I? Some pathetic little gang of campfire scouts pretending to be a menace to society? They're nothing. I'd like to think my daughter and her friends are clever enough, strong enough to overcome such nonsense. Except they nearly killed her. That giggling gathering of girls proved to be a bit more dangerous than you thought they'd be, Deco. No doubt the shooter would have peed her panties in fear before getting the nerve to pull the trigger if you hadn't startled her. Making some assumptions there, Deco. For all you know, they're stone cold to the core. And now you're pushing for her to go back into their turf. A hard lesson, but one she must learn. If Sue can't learn to rise to such mediocre challenges, she won't be ready to inherit my empire.
You understand, yes?
Am I a harsh tutor? Perhaps. But I know Sue will be stronger for facing her fears. Worthy of the challengers to come in running for Deco's palace. Yeah. Tsunami, owner of Deco's palace. That feels weird when I say it. Let's hear her thoughts, Sue. Do you want your father's empire? Well, he's mega rich and I'd get all his power when he croaks. Yes, well, aside from all that. That's a lot of all that to brush aside, you know. I could do a lot with the resources he's got. You'd have to run a series of arcades that you actually hate. Casinos with no love for the kinds of games you afforded here. Well, okay, running the palace would suck. But I can always sell it for cash and buy myself an island. What? Or heck, I could crash and burn his entire empire and then start my own arcade on my own terms. Just so much possibility if I grit my teeth and tolerate him until he inevitably drops dead of butt cancer or something. Yeah, sounds good. Might just stick by this old bastard if I'm gonna get his moolah. Sorry. Hey, maybe one day we could open an arcade together? Pretty sure that's the opposite of the effect I was looking for. Before I can get in another word, Sue waves her hands, interrupting me. Okay, enough.
Man, this sucks.
I'm sick of all this talking. It's time for action. It's time for decisions. You've made your case, Dad, and so have you, Hulyen. He wants to protect me and use me. It's patently obvious at this point, but maybe the cost of turning my back on him is too high. Well, Hulyen wants me all to throw it away just because it's the right thing to do. As for me, what do I want? How do I want this to play out? This is it. The moment of truth. Did I convince Sue to abandon her father? Did we save arcade spirits? Or was it all for nothing?
You know what? F you, Dad.
Yeah!
Excuse me.
Yeah, you heard me. Your poor f***ing excuse for a father and your so-called enemy really opened my eyes about that. Oh, don't get me wrong. You've got money and power. You could crush me like an ant, yeah? Yeah. And I don't think I care anymore. I'm tired of living in your shadow and under your thumb. I'm tired of living with you. As of today, we're done. I'm cutting unhealthy like you from my life.
Go, Sue, go!
I think we can do business. You want to save your arcade? I've got the evidence you need to stick Daddy Dearest behind bars for the rest of his life. Every dirty deal I've ever helped him carry out. And believe you me, that's a lot of extremely filthy deeds.
You can't do this.
I can and I will.
I forbid it. You are my daughter, and if I go down, you're coming with me.
Okay.
Really? I think I can spin this entire mess as your fault.
I'd like to see you try, you ignorant brat. You're a career criminal, incorrigible to the end. What possible proof could you offer up of your innocence?
My Iris recording this conversation? Because Clyde didn't do anything to stop it? Sue snaps her fingers and points to my phone.
Oh, Iris. Would you kindly...
Called it. Would you kindly? Come on. A man chooses. Sure thing, Miss Sue. And for my speaker, a perfect audio recording of Deco's earlier self-incriminating words.
Sue knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence. But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious talents and nurture them. She knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice.
Golly, that sure smells like corruption of a minor and blackmail to me.
I know, Sue. I'm shocked, too.
And once I do my hair in pigtails and offer a jury big puppy dog eyes, oh, my mean old dad forced me into a life of crime. Well, what do you think happens next?
Especially since no evidence of wrongdoing from her or the gang has been made public. No, that's impossible. You said you blocked all recording devices. No, you didn't. I said I couldn't block Iris from functioning. Just block her from uploading her recordings anywhere. Yeah, thanks, Clyde. She was still listening this whole time. You can go ahead and remove the data block now, Clyde. Already done. I've also uploaded a press kit based on our Deco Nami archives to 5 major newspapers, 11 websites, ESPN, SportsCenter, and HGTV. Home and Garden Television? I figured the 2 guys from Arcade Flippers might be interested. I really like that show. With that settled, Sue turns a smug, satisfied smile toward her doomed father.
Welcome to the Ides of March, Dad. You want to get me in trouble too? You feel free. At worst, I'll do a year or two in juvie. But you're gonna bleed out on the floor by the time I'm through.
Inky? Blinky? Yeah, boss? Show my father the door. Gently. Don't leave any marks, at least.
No! No! This is completely unacceptable! I am your father! I'm Deco Nami! I am the arcade business!
Inky and Blinky easily restrain Deco by the arms, but I just can't let him go without having my 2 cents. Hi, arcade business, I'm Dad! I have to pick that one. Hi, arcade business, I'm Dad. Did you just seriously dad joke my dad? Damn right I did. Sweet.
You impudent, insignificant little...
Are you still here? Not for long.
I haven't lost. I can still fight this. I can still...
And the ghost monsters remove Deco from our sights. Instantly, the entire atmosphere of the place changes, as if a great weight has lifted. I couldn't be more relieved, and I relax into a sigh. Not gonna lie, next few days will be interesting to say the least. I think you'd better stay at my place. My parents won't mind at all. Yeah, I'm gonna need to hide out until the heat's off. Maybe practice batting my eyelashes at a weak-willed jury box full of concerned parents, too. Sue blinks in astonishment. Oh, right. You're still here. Oh, I knew you were special. Knew it from day one. The heat ever cools off and we make amends with a lovely chainsaw. I may pop by your arcade, play some games, and not stir up any trouble.
The public will know Deco hired a gang to go after you. That should exonerate your arcade as a victim of his shady dealings.
Thank you, Sue.
So, we square?
Yeah. Absolutely not. With the terrible person. Also, triangle in a circle. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you. I know this wasn't easy for you, giving up so much, and I appreciate what you've done for my arcade.
I owed you, honestly. I may still owe you for that matter.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe it! You did it! You actually did it!
Ashley, you helped too. We all did it. Together.
We did, didn't we? You know, we make a pretty perfect team, you and I. Me and you. And now that the evil hath been vanquished, a new calm will spread across the arcade lands. Arcades everywhere will thrive, and the people will prosper.
We can finally live happily ever after.
I'd like that.
Aw. She's so cute. The next few days passed by in a blur. I want to see more of Sue and Clyde's relationship. They're adorable. That morning, we had press crowding around the doors of the arcade before we'd even opened. Sue's care package of bad news went up the wire caught their attention. Miss Blue! Miss Blue! Is it true that Deco Nami organized a gang hit on your arcade? How do you respond to allegations that Deco Nami is involved in an internal counterfeit plush doll prize ring? What is your relationship with the ghost monsters? Have you heard any allegations of child abuse? Have you seen Mr. Phom's article talking about the incident, praising your professionalism? I gave so many interviews that day that I lost my voice. Fortunately, Ashley was on hand to keep me hydrated and encourage me onward. Everybody loved to see a fallen family entertainment icon. It made them feel so self-righteous, and Deco Nami was now square in the crosshairs. It didn't matter that the official police response was a generic, "We are still investigating these claims. The court of public opinion has decided." I love you both. I will do a double hydrate here. I have awesome friends and who have excellent comedic timing. You're both great. Deco's palace was doomed. The final crushing blow came at a televised press conference 3 days later.
These obvious falsehoods generated by jealous business rivals and lying children merely go to show how the powerful are routinely targeted for harassment.
Uh-huh.
Furthermore, what? No! Unhand me immediately! I'm innocent in these matters! Innocent!
Hey, that's the gal that got the, plebeius. Also, I like that the lower third has already changed to Mogul under arrest. That's, someone's real quick in the room there. And we never saw him again. Seriously, after the arrest, he just up and vanished from the public's eye. It's honestly a bit creepy. I was at least expecting a trial or something.
He told me that if I didn't commit all those crimes, he'd take away my food.
You get him, Sue. Innocent, corrupted by
I
Deco.
never wanted to be a hacker. I just like computers. I wanted to get a computer degree and get a normal job like anyone else.
Largely a line of hokum, but it was good to see Sue breaking away from Deco's influence all the same. Who knows? Maybe Sue's ready to turn over a new leaf and go straight after all. The Deco's Palace Board of Directors unanimously voted to eject him, given that he'd just vanished into the guts of the judicial system. Oh, the arcade empire he established is still out there. It's still powerful, still tacky as heck, still a menace to small arcades like ours. But without his guiding vision, it's largely treading water. Who knows? Maybe one day the traditional arcades will overtake what he left behind. As for arcade spirits, we stayed true to our roots, running a classic video game arcade, just as Percy and Naomi wanted. No frills, no muss, no fuss. It'll never be profitable enough to really give any large arcade a run for the money, and Gavin sometimes pulls his hair out trying to keep us in the green. But we're here. We're still having fun, and our games are the best. But the arcade, in the end, is less important than the people who call it home. Yeah, they're so cute. I honestly didn't expect how arcade spirits exploded in popularity after we took Deco down. With the newfound fame came some people loving everything about the arcade, including Ashley's mascot. Yeah. Kids and adults alike adored them. We ended up making plushies, posters, and action figures, t-shirts, everything of the mascot, and people gobbled it right up. Half the profits are from merch alone. Watching Ashley watch people love these creations filled them with such excitement that we started working on a secondary mascot to debut at Arcade Spirits next month, complete with backstory.
This is going to be the best costume I've ever made.
And you did it all while believing in yourself and your talents. I'm so proud of you.
And I'm so proud of you that you offered to wear it at the grand reveal. You're going to look cute as a button in this.
I hope we get to see it. With you crafting it, I would expect nothing less.
Just think, after we debut this new arcade hero, we will be an unstoppable duo. People will demand all sorts of new swag for these characters. Maybe they'll even make an anime about it.
Regardless, I'm sure people will love it just as much as I love you. Now hand me those buttons and hot glue gun. We've got a costume to complete. Iris explained to me that irises, being adapted software, eventually became more and more like their users. It seems my empathy has rubbed off on Iris. With my influence, she's grown quite a bit.
I hope that one day, humans will see us as friends and allies. All I've ever wanted was to embrace kindness and understanding. And thanks to you, I've learned so much.
Naomi kept Arcade Spirits going for years and years. This was her dream, to find a cozy little place she could call home and maintain her beloved old games for the rest of her life. I was only too happy to help that dream come true. But as time goes on, it's going to get harder and harder to keep these great classics alive and kicking. But I'm ready, I'm excited, and I've got a few tricks up my sleeve for keeping the spirit of the arcade going forever. Eventually, she formed an online community of arcade repair enthusiasts, one that let her make a safe place to get to know others and be part of a crowd on her own terms. Yeah, good job. Proud of you. With Arcade Spirits as their headquarters, she's really going places. Percy only had 2 years left to live. But with the success of Arcade Spirits and with the encouragement of all his friends, he's decided that wouldn't be enough. My mind's made up. I'm going to seek more treatment. I don't want this to end. I don't want to say goodbye to you all. He'd live many years to come, thanks to a renewed push to take care of his condition. Happy years spent with all of us. Yay! As for Moopy, well, with all the time in the world, he took his time, paced himself, and eventually beat the score. Well, I'm honestly not sure to do with the rest of my life. Suppose we'll just have to see when we see, When the 4 Heavenly Kings invited her to live and play at their team house, Queen Bee instantly said yes. Listen, kid, I'm sad to leave you, but I'm not gone for effing forever. This is my true home, and you're my family. I'm going to come back and visit. And often. And that she did. She stops by as much as her schedule allows and even brings some other big names to the arcade. We always livestream her matches on the big screen, cheering for her all the while. This win is dedicated to Hulyen and everyone else at Arcade Spirits. I couldn't have done it without those amazing friends of mine. We always keep Fists of Discomfort warm and ready for her next visit. Oh. Through the good times and the bad, Juniper's stuck by me, my BFF for life. I'm really proud of you, you know? You pulled yourself out of the tailspin your life was in. You went for it, you did it, you made it happen. I'm lucky I got to be even a small part of that. A large part of that, I'd say. I wouldn't be here now if not for you. Hey, I'll take credit if you want me to. Just call me Juniper, the life coach. You know I'll be in your corner until you're dead. Hopefully later, rather than sooner, though. Crazy good publicity indeed. Gavin stood by us as we rose out of the ashes of Deco's onslaught, but eventually he chose to leave Arcade Spirits. Oh, that's fair. We didn't get real close to him. He'd always been a bit distant, true. Perhaps he felt it was time to move on, or perhaps he didn't find what he was looking for with us. We parted on good terms, and he went off to further his career somewhere else. Teo kept the Showtime stage scene alive at Arcade Spirits until he got offered as a job as their regional community manager. Teo put his crewmate D in charge here, as he set off traveling and organizing dancing tournaments around the world. He's doing what he loves, connecting with all sorts of people. I guess he just never connected enough with anyone here to stay around. Wonder if he'll ever stop by again, hop on our stage and show us his moves. Love and friendship, in a time of pixels and quarters. Finally, I'm home. Arcade Spirits. Thank you, Arcade Spirits. My spirit is restored, and my future is bright. At last, I can say, I'm happy. I'm finally truly happy with who I am and where I am. I fought hard for this, and won it at great effort, but happiness is my reward. For this day, and every day to come. This game is so good! Writing and voice acting and everything is so good. It's gonna be a little bit, but I will absolutely play the second one on stream. Wonder if it's possible to end a run with everyone in colors sticking around. Oh, probably. Feels like it'd be pretty easy to do. Just kind of keep everyone balanced. Especially if you specifically don't romance everyone and keep everyone more balanced. That probably would do it quite nicely. I feel like I wasn't that far off from having Teo and Gavin stick around. But that's fair, because I hadn't spent much time with those two in this run. Yeah, I like the cupcake wrangling credit. This was an amazing game. I remembered a little bit of it as we went, but not much of it, because I played it when it pretty soon after it first came out and hadn't touched it since. I'm so glad... Is the second one already out? Yes. But I'm so glad y'all enjoyed it too. It's mainly why I wanted to stream it, because I wanted to share this awesome game. Because it's so good. And this was only one of the playthroughs. Look at all those people and all those paths that you can choose. Anyone listening to at this point should go play it themselves. Well, I know Cherry has it from picking it up in a bundle, and I know I have one coworker and friend that, just based on me rambling about it in my, going live ads and stuff, already picked it up. Apparently it was on sale. He's been letting me know about how that run's been going. Oh, you're welcome. I love sharing games I like. That's the main reason I stream. Thank you for hanging out with me and experiencing a playthrough with me. I appreciate it a lot. I'm glad the chapters were a good length to not blow out my voice. Game over. Thank you for playing. Now I bet the main screen will cycle between Teo and Ashley. Because I romanced Teo the first time I played. This is outrageous. I demand to speak with my lawyer. Hello? Hello, can anyone hear me? You can't do this to me. I am well aware of who you are. Good. Then you know I can afford a lawyer who can run circles around you, whoever you are. True, if you were officially under arrest. Technically, this facility does not exist. Neither do I. What? You can't do this. If you prefer, I could hand you over to the police. There's a cybercrime task force that's eager to get their hands on you. But if you'd like to avoid a lengthy prison sentence, I have a proposition for you. I'd like to know about a tiny, tiny little detail buried in all those leaked files your daughter posted online. Oh, is this about Polybius? Yeah, it'd be about Polybius. Specifically the 1980X playtests. The what? I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. You know damn well what I'm talking about. Sinneschlossen's Pride and Joy. You hosted secret playtests of that game. Oh, those tests. Sorry, but I don't see what help I'll be. I only played a minor role. Once the test was over, the machines were shipped out to other locations. Exactly. Against our authority, Sinneschlossen distributed their prototypes. And you're going to use all your connections, all your leverage, every drop of what little influence you have left to help us find our property. Polybius was our project, Mr. Nami, and we want it back. Also called it, but I love that they tied that into that Game Over for Real this time. They pulled into that arcade urban legend. So appropriate. Your flux capacitor is now charged. On your next playthrough, you can use your mouse wheel to scroll back and forth in time and change your most recent decisions. Well, I was using that a little bit to when I accidentally went too far. Would you like to export your current character and story data so you can carry it over to the next game, Arcade Spirits: The New Challengers? This will overwrite any previously exported data. Yes, save my data. Now exporting data. All done. Thank you for playing. So, Polybius, actually, let's look at the prizes and see if it has a thing. Actually, hang on. Look, it is going between the two of them now. There's Teo from the first time. Look, it's Ashley! I'm gonna see if they have anything in here about Polybius. Home arcade system documentary. Nice. Oh, concept art and stuff. Neat. So Polybius is an urban legend that there was a secret government test with these cabinets called Polybius, and people felt weird and sick after they played them. But they were only in arcades for a matter of weeks before they disappeared. And human memory being what it is, people have come forth, and some legitimately believing that they remember seeing a Polybius machine, and more likely people just being influenced and also just shitposting about it. But it's become this urban legend in the classic arcade community. It's basically what was presented in this game. It's hilarious. I love that they brought it into here. Let's watch the documentary. We got time. Hello, hello. You may be asking yourself, wait, what the heck did I just click on? What is this? Is this part of the game? Nope. This is a little something extra we threw in simply for fun. Today I'd like to teach you about home arcade cabinets. Sometimes called a MAME cabinet, named after the arcade game emulation software that's commonly used for them. They let you play arcade classics at home on a real arcade machine. I don't know if that's what the sequel's about. I know there's new characters. And yes, this is all true, everything she's saying. In this interactive documentary, I'll walk you through the basics of what a home arcade cabinet is, or how you can make one, or buy one, or whatever. But this is just an overview, a basic introduction with a few links to get you started, not a step-by-step guide. None of the links are considered official endorsement or sponsorship. They're just resources we've come across in our own hobby work. We're not being paid for this. Still, we think once you learn more about these magical wonder boxes of arcade delight, you'll be eager to learn more. To start, pick a chapter. But probably you'll want to start at, part 1. Part 1. What is a home arcade cabinet? Well, first, let's be clear on what we mean by a cabinet. You probably already know this, but classic arcade games that weren't like home game consoles today. Each game came with its own wooden box, housing with circuits, joysticks, and a monitor. But these days, you're not restricted to a single arcade and a single cabinet. Not with a custom-built home arcade. Sometimes called a MAME cabinet or multicade, these cabinets look like the real deal but use a general-purpose computer instead of a single game circuit board. Or they have a board that has multiple games on it. What's emulation? Emulators are special software which mimics how those circuit boards work using files called ROMs, arcade copies of all the data for a particular game. An emulator and ROM working together mimics the original chips and bits that make up an arcade game. Every transistor, every circuit, every little piece, all run on your computer. Or like I said, sometimes there's, especially for home console systems, there's basically a cartridge. Because I know there's one for a bunch of the different systems, and even for, like Neo Geo cabinets, because they had big cartridges, that you can do a multi-in-one cartridge on original hardware without really any modification. Sometimes a little modification, but not a ton. That basically does load up ROMs into the memory on there, but it's large enough to hold a bunch of them, and then have a little bit of software to just interface. I know people who make this sort of thing. That way, you can play an old-school arcade game on any personal computer. Or heck, emulators exist for Android and, jailbroken iOS too. Play them on your phone. Not that I'd recommend using a glass smartphone touchscreen because wow are those controls completely wrong for arcade games. Accurate, that is accurate. But playing on your home computer is, well, boring. You've got a super modern HD display with these games you didn't have, which these games didn't have, and a keyboard? Ugh. No. What you need is proper arcade joysticks and buttons. Even a game console gamepad isn't quite the same as real sticks used in arcades. Yes, people make those too, and she's probably about to tell us about that. And if you're going that far, why not house it all in an actual wooden arcade cabinet, complete with artwork and maybe even a real CRT monitor? Next thing you know, you've got a home arcade cabinet. That's all it really is, a personal computer hidden away in a really cool wooden box. It's a nice showpiece for your rec room or den or man cave. Sound good? Good! I can help you get started making one. But I need to warn you how complex this project will be. Computer hardware, non-standard controls, a funky monitor, even a wooden casing. It's a lot, you know? A heck of a lot. Honestly, I only recommend launching into this sort of creative fiasco if you think you generally enjoy tinkering with it and building it as a hobby. like building a model train set. It exists as a challenge to yourself and as an awesome finished toy you can show off. Alternatively, some companies sell complete home arcades with the arcade and software ready to go. Plug and play, like X-Arcade. They didn't pay me for that. This isn't sponsored, and there are a lot of other companies selling similar units too, such as Rec Room Masters. Actually, I've heard the X-Arcade stuff isn't very good. Anyway, if all you want is to play, you don't have to go through all the rigmarole. Just buy a unit with legal games installed and have some fun. But if you want to get started making your own, read on. Okay, I'm not going to read through all of this aloud on stream, these mostly step by step. But now you know what it is if you want to do that yourself. Thanks for visiting. Hope you enjoyed this little extra. Now back to the game. Alright. I'm gonna switch to something without reading aloud. I'm gonna run some ads. Stick around.